Evening, everybody. Tonight, I want to talk to you about self created negative manifestations that can turn into negative spirits that can haunt your home. These are spirits that have never had life, never walked the earth. It's something that we have created by our negative thoughts, our thinking of hating people, disliking people, thinking, woe is me. My house is a mess. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know how to fix it. Just they're created by multiple negative thoughts, and they start very small, and they're just a little ball of negative energy, and they grow and grow, and then they basically eventually take on their own persona. This is something you don't want, but this is something that you can also disable. And Heidi is going to do a video and give you some ideas and suggestions on how to do that if you feel like you have one. And some of the ways you feel like you have one is when you walk into your own space and you just feel like, and everything just falls on the couch, falls on the floor, and you just drop on the couch. And you grab the TV remote and you're like, it's not worth doing anything. I don't want to do anything. I hate where I live. I don't want to be here. Everything is wrong in my life. Everything's horrible. I have nothing good to look forward to. And then it just takes over. When I describe it to Heidi, it's like this black slime that comes all over the walls. And you feel it when you walk into someone's house sometimes and you feel like, oh, I want to leave. They probably have this. And it can affect other people if you have children and stuff in your house. Eventually it will, because your negative thoughts will. So you don't want to feed it. You absolutely do not want to feed it. And there are ways to remove it and to fix it, to bring your space back into your space and own it. And that's one of the things that you have to learn to do is own your space. Make your space something that you feel good in. Don't let this thing take over your space. And Heidi and I have dealt with people that have done that. One of the women that we told her how to do it and gave her some instructions, and Heidi was a great help to her. She totally disabled it, blew it away, took it down. And when it's a self-created negative manifestation, it's not really going to respond to saging or blessings because you haven't changed your thought process. You haven't stopped feeding it. That's the most important thing you got to do. You got to stop feeding it. It's like a weed in your garden. You don't want to feed it. You don't want to water the weed. You ever think of when you get off work and you're really happy at work and then you have to go home and you don't want to go home? I don't want to go there. That is one of the beginning stages of a negative manifestation, which can take on a life totally of its own. So I hope this kind of helps you a little bit because I just feel like there's so much going on in the world right now that we need to make our lives a little bit easier, a little bit nicer. And some ways of counteracting things like this, just a small start. Like the way I love to start my day, it's so simple, but it makes me so happy. My husband gets up for work before I do, and he goes in the kitchen and he opens the little window we have. And I love walking into my kitchen and seeing nice clean counters, seeing the sink have very few dishes or no dishes in it, and having everything just kind of like organized on the shelf. It's not, I have a very small kitchen, and I make my coffee, and I stand at the counter and I look out the window, and it just makes it wonderful. Sometimes I'll leave the supper dishes, and I'll say, "Oh, I'm too tired to do them tonight. I'll do them when I get up in the morning." But then right before I come upstairs to bed, I go in the kitchen and I do those dishes because I know that that's going to affect my whole day. So please treat yourself to a little something. Try to start your day off in a good way. And try to fight those negative thoughts. And some of these negative manifestations can grow very big. Like I said, to me, when I see them in visions, like black slime or tar just dripping off the walls. And you do that. You don't want that in your life. You don't need that in your life. So thought this explanation helped you a little. I hope you have a wonderful night. God bless. And if you have time, check out Heidi's video. If you feel like you have something on the start of something, check out Heidi's video. She's going to help you control this issue. And believe me, have faith in me that there's ways to get rid of this stuff. We've done it. And please, God bless. Take care.
Hey everyone, this is Heidi from Aventuring Mystic and Healer giving you a shout out and a shout out to our psychic advisor Jane Dowler. And I'm just actually piggybacking on her video that she did a few moments ago, talking to all of you about negative manifestations that we create ourselves because of our own continued negative energy that feeds it. And why this happens could be any reason. It could be environmental for us. It could be that we are overwhelmed with too much responsibility. We don't get any help in what we're doing. So we find a way that to complain about everything, to complain about work or home, or just a simple going to get a coffee and somebody has done my coffee wrong again and again. And we just keep complaining about it. There's nothing good that we see in the world. There's nothing good that we see in life. Why do we bother? And now, with that, as Jane has mentioned, we create a vicious circle that doesn't stop. And it has to stop because eventually it's going to affect your health. It's going to affect your mental situations. It is going to prevent you from going out and socializing and wanting to meet people. Your sleep is going to be affected tremendously. We start by first stopping for a moment, breathing it in and breathing it out. And what I'd like to actually say is, you know what? Open up the door or open up your window and let some fresh air in. 10, 15 minutes. Let the coolness of the air come into your house and get rid of some of that stagnant energy, some of the toxins that have been in your home for a while, and let the fresh air in. Let it absorb your home. Let it clear out some energy. Just by that alone will make a change or shift in your thoughts, in your body. And it's like, this feels good. I can breathe. Wow, I didn't realize how stuffy it was in here. That's what opening up the door or having an open window will do for you. The next thing that you want to change, and I want to say this, is that a positive attitude doesn't show up overnight, but a positive attitude sometimes doesn't help. When you say your attitude should be positive, and it's like, well, why? Give me a reason. However, if you want to shift, a tone is easier to help than an attitude. It's like, I can't be happy every single day. I can't be positive every single day. But you can look for a positive tone to shift so that it starts the process. So open of that window. That is the start of a shift towards a positive tone, because you have said yourself that, wow, I didn't realize how stagnant the air was in this house or in this apartment, wherever you live. That feels good. Well, you've just started something. Now you have had a good positive experience. Now that dark manifestation is getting smaller. It doesn't feed off a positive, it feeds off a negative. Can we keep going with this? Absolutely. Maybe there's something that at work you're not happy with, you're not getting a raise, or you have a person that you work with that you're not really sanguine with. But you know what? If you're not able to change the situation at work, maybe we can shift it to a positive tone. What do you want to shift at work? What would make you happy? Is there a way that we could figure out how to shift so that we can get towards your goal? If we stay stagnant and always complain about something, we're not going to move. So we have to figure out a way to either move with our work, grow with it, or leave it to go for someplace else. Sometimes you just have to leave an environment to get your own sanity back. With your home, if you feel overwhelmed because you're not getting help by family members, sometimes you just have to take the bull by the horn and start working in small areas of your home, taking your space back. That could be just starting in your own bedroom. That could be just starting in your own bathroom. That could be just saying, you know what? There's too much clutter around the TV. I'm going to clear the clutter. I'm tired of fighting, trying to find that remote control. That's a step in the right direction. That's a step in a shift of a positive tone. Do you understand where I'm going from here? You don't have to deal with a positive attitude every single day. You're just working on a tone so that, you know what? My shoulders feel better. There's less anxiety here. I'm working to grab my space back, claiming my space for my own. So therefore, my negative energy is less. And so isn't that black manifestation that feeds on dark energy less as well? What will also help you in this endeavor is you're bringing some earth elements into your home. A plant, one or two, not large, but just enough. I'm going to put in a link of some plants that will also work in your home that will get rid of toxins, bring in more oxygen. You have all of that positive oxygen in your home. Well, guess what? You're going to sleep a little bit better. Your mood's going to be a little bit better. Your skin will probably be better as well, because now you are not stressing. You're not anxiety ridden. All of this is a positive shift of tone. So you are doing something, however small, however big, it's working. So therefore, when you feel better, when you feel like you have grabbed the bull by the horns and you're taking control, then that large black negative manifestation is gone or is going away or it's less effective. It's not a lot that's surrounding your feet. It's not drips of tar that Jane sees coming from your walls. You are controlling it. You are taking everything back that belongs to you, and you're making a shift towards something that energizes you and it makes you feel good. So let's keep going. If you are worried about the snow this weekend, what is it going to do? Oh my gosh. Well, we still have time. You prepare. Once you're prepared, that's another anxiety that you have shifted. You're not complaining, oh my God, the snow is going to be here. I don't have a shovel. Nobody in the house is going to help. Or I live by myself. What the heck am I going to do? Why am I bothering? I'm not going to be able to get to work. I'm not going to make my money today. Stop right there. What can you do to help yourself get out of a bind that you think that you're in? Well, you're going to have to prepare for it. Get that shovel, for Pete's sake. Get that assault to prep for the snow. See if you have buddies that have a snowplow that could get the snow out of your drive. You hire a kid down the street if you know a teenager that needs money. Stuff like that. Be proactive in your own shift of tone so that you're making it easier. And I do mean easier in the point of there's less anxiety in your shoulders because you've solved the problem. You have taken something off of the list and you're making yourself feel better. And then maybe you've planned for a plan B for just in case this happens. Little bits go a long way and they make a lot of sense, but they also stay with you a lot longer than having to spew out some negatives and letting that large manifestation grow. A lot of it is easier said than done, but we have to start somewhere. And I'm actually going to probably put another link for you of a positivity ritual to help. And you take it from what you want, you start it from where you want to, and you go from there. Use your own imagination, but don't stop helping yourself. I'm going to put a link to the plants. I'll put a link into the positivity ritual, and you go from there. You are all worth it. If we start small, start someplace, eventually you realize, oh, it didn't take as long as I thought it was going to be. Put yourself on a timer for something if that helps you. And I want all of you to really appreciate yourselves for taking the time to do this for you because it's important. You have a life to live. Go ahead and live it, but enjoy it as you do it. Control your space, take back your space, and don't give in to the negative manifestation that could grow to be potentially harmful for you. So with that being said, be safe out there this weekend. We are getting snow and a lot of it, so make sure all of you prepare for it as well. All right, everyone? Talk with you later. Bye-bye.